Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Imaginary Engineering. This is Kirti. This is our second part of block application. If you haven't watched the first part where I have explained the backend, I will recommend you to watch that so you will get the better idea. Let's start with the front end part. So first I will create the new folder here, call it front end. Let me close all this open tab. First we will create the app. For that command is npm create with @latest. I'm using the latest version. Then app name my block app. Enter. It asks okay to proceed. Yes. Then we want to create the React, so let's choose the React. I'm not using the TypeScript, so I'm just select the JavaScript. Then redirect to that folder my block app, and then we will install all the npm packages. For that command npm install, it will install all the packages. So here we have created this React app using the wait instead of CRA. It helps to faster development. It will take some time to install. Now we are done, so let's run our application. Npm run dev. Our application is running on localhost 5173. Here you can see. Now let's go back to our VS Code. This is our package.json file. Now let's go to our app.jsx. I will remove all this code and create the function app component. Then this index.css file, I will remove all this code, we don't need it. This is our application. Now for the styling, I'm using the Bootstrap, so let's copy the Bootstrap CDN. I'm copying this link. Go to our index.html. Here I am paste it. Let me copy this script tag also, and I will paste it inside the body. Now we can use the Bootstrap in our application. First I will create the pages folder inside our src. Inside that pages I will create a component home.jsx. Let me open. Now first I will install the React router DOM so we can navigate the page. npm I React router DOM. It will install the router. So we created the home component, and then I will go back to our app.jsx. Here I will import some functions, create browser router and router provider from React router DOM. We are using the updated version of that React router DOM. I will define one variable router equal to create browser router function. It will take the array of object. This object is basically represent the path. First path is / and it will redirect us to the home component. I will remove this and add the router provider component, and it will take the router prop and we pass our router here. So we are done. So let's check. Go to our application. Here you can see the home page. Home. Now let me create another component folder, components. Inside that components folder we will keep our all the components, footer.js. Then I will create the Navbar component, navbar.jsx rfc. So now we will go to our Bootstrap and search for the Navbar. Here I will copy this code and paste it here. Let me remove all the unnecessary code from here. We don't need that drop down, link, input, all this thing I have removed. Let me change the background color. I want dark. Navbar dark class I have added. Now href we redirect to the slash, and instead of search we will say add block. I will change this button color also. I want it light. Now we go to our footer. Here I will create a footer function. Then let's go to our home component. Here I am adding the navbar and footer, so we can display the navbar and footer on home page. Now let's go to our application. Here you can see the navbar and footer looks good. Now let me change that navbar title. Here on this navbar title I will say blog. Then go to this footer.js. We will update this footer component. We will say copyright imaginary engineering. And I will pass the class footer. Let's create this class in our index.css, and I will add the background color also. So body, inside the body I will add the background color RGB 243, 244, 246, and then this is the footer class. I will add it here. I will say position fixed, then bottom 0, height will be 30 pixel, width will be 100, then background color will be. Then I have added this footer class. Actually we are using the Bootstrap, so we can do that using the Bootstrap also, but I don't know why I have created this footer class, so let it be. You can done this by using the Bootstrap classes also. Here you can see the footer styling and all the things looks good. So let's go on the home page. Here we have the navbar and footer component. We need that on the every pages. So what I will do, I will create one parent component. Let's call it main navigation JSX. I will create this component and add the navbar and footer here. So we don't need to add it in every pages. This will be our parent component. Then I will add the outlet. Outlet will render all the children. If you don't know about that, I will explain it in later. So we'll go to our app.jsx. Here I will add one path slash. We redirect to the component main navigation, and we'll pass one prompt of children, and we pass this path. Inside that it will take the array of object. Now this main navigation is our parent, and it will render the all our children. Here you can see this navbar and footer. Even though I have removed that component from their home, here you can see we have added that in our parent component, so we don't need to add it everywhere. This path is similar to the parent, so we can say index true. So we'll redirect to the slash. It's working fine. So next I will create the component block item. To render the block, I will create the function block item. Then I will go back to our home component, and here I am adding the block item, so we can display all the blocks. First I will add the class name, container, and some margin top, and then I will add this block item so we can display all the blocks which are available. Then I will go to this app.jsx. Here I am defining one function. Let's call it get all blocks, which will return all the blocks. To make the API request, first I will install the Axios. So sorry, spelling mistake. npm I excuse, it will install the. Now we have installed. First I will show you that API here. If I click on send, it will return all the blocks which are available. I will copy this URL. Coming back to our home API app.jsx, I will make that function async, and then we will call the get method. First let me import the excuse. Excuse.get, and then I will pass that get method here. I will create one variable so we can store that data. When promise resolve, we will get our data and we will keep it in our variable all blocks response.data, and then I will return that all blocks. Then inside that path I will add the loader prop, and we will call the get all blocks method. So this will load the data before this home component is render, means data is available before the home component render. Inside the home component we have the block item. So here we can fetch that data which is returned by that function. So for that I am using the hook use loader data. It will return the data that we have passed in home component. Let me console log this all blocks here. Inspect. Let me refresh the page once. Here we are getting one error. This is the course error as expected, cross origin resource sharing. This is because our front end and back end server running on the different port, so request is coming from the different origin. So resolve that, we will resolve it from the back end. So I will go to the controller, and here I will add a notation cross origin which allow the origin access. Now let's go back, let me refresh, but still we are getting the error. Let me restart the server once. So let's go back and let me restart the server. Here I will restart npm run dev. Now here you can see this data is coming from block item, but here we are getting one error. Let me go to the Navbar. Here we have used the class, so let's replace this class with the class name. We copy this Navbar component from the Bootstrap. Now it looks good, so let me refresh. We are not getting any warning and we are getting the data successfully. So let's go to our block item component. Here we will render this block. Let me search for the card. I will copy this card component. Then all blocks dot map, we will iterate over the map each element, and I will paste that card component here. We don't, let me remove this extra styling, and we don't have the image, so let me remove that image also. And also I will replace that class with class name. Now it looks good, so let's go back, refresh the page. Here we don't see anything. Let me return this div. I will put it in parenthesis. I will put this card div in parenthesis and return it. I hope it will display. Yeah, it display. Let's do some styling for this card. Come back here, First I will add the key, so it will uniquely identify each element. Then add some shadow around the card I want. Then padding, then margin bottom 5. Background color, no need actually, so forget it. Then rounded corner, I will make the border 0. Then we dynamically fetch the title, block.title. Let me remove this and we will say block.description. Then we will add the link view more. Let me remove that class name also. Then we will add a one button for the delete block. I will pass the class btn danger, so it will be in the red color. We go back here. We need one new line after the view mode. I will put this anchor tag inside the paragraph, so we'll get the new line. Now it looks good. So we will render, you can see hash and then the React component. We'll use the React markdown here, display our description. So I will copy this and we will install this React markdown. What it will do, it will create the HTML component in our text. We provide the plain text and it will make the HTML element. From that we'll import the markdown first and then we will wrap our description inside that markdown tag. Let me cut and paste it inside the markdown tag. Let's go back. Here you can see now instead of hash we can see that text React compiler in bold. If I show you in API, let me go here. You can see in description the first line, you can see we have the for hash and the React compiler, but now instead of hash we can see this text in a bold format. This is how using that markdown we can format our text. Now next we'll see how we can add the block. I will add the path for adding the block. Let's say /add block. Then let me create the component add block.jsx. To add the new block, here I have created the function. Let's go to our app.jsx. We will render into this add block element. Also when user click on this button add block, let me remove this button, add one anchor tag. When user click on that add block, we will render into the add block page. So we'll provide the link /add block. Now let's go here. If I click on that add block, we render into the add block. URL has changed, you can see. Now next I will search for the form. I will copy this form, come back to here our add block and I will paste it here. I will remove this for. First we have the title and description. Let me rename this to the title. Input tag, let me close. We don't need that ID and all that thing. Let me remove all the necessary things. Type will be text. I will remove all this other div and I will copy this and paste after it. I will change it to the description. description. Now instead of input tag, we'll use the text area. Let me close that text area. Here I am passing the name attribute, title, and for this description I will pass the name description. Also I will pass the rows 10, columns I need. So here you can see the title and description is displayed, but it's not in center. I want it in center, so I will add the one more div here, container. Inside that I will add the class name row, and then I will add the column md8, and I will cut and copy paste that form inside it. I will give some margin top also. Now here again it looks nice but not in center, so let me add offset md2. Now let go back. Now it is in center, but button is still not in center. So for the button I will add one div here and will say text center. I will copy this button and paste inside that div, and also I will change the button color, button success. Now let's go back. It is in center, it looks good. So let's go back to our VS Code. Then I will create the hook to store that title and description. Create one variable, block data. To update that value, we have the function set block data. Currently it is the empty object. Then we'll create the one method on change handler. Let's call it on handler change. This method will call when we enter any title and description. Here I am adding the on change event in both title and description. When we enter any text inside that title and description, this method will be called. Here we will update our block data and return the one object. First we will store all the previous one, and then we will update with the new one. So we will say destructure the previous, and e.target.name will assign the e.target.value. And for when user click on the submit, we'll call one function on submit. Here we haven't created that function yet. On submit, let's create that function. Const on submit. It will take the event e.prevent default. It will prevent default form submission. Then I will make this function async. We'll use the axios to call our post request. Here if I show you that API, let me change the method. Here we have this API. Let's go back to our add block JSX. Here I am paste that, and we will pass the data, block data. Here I am using the navigate. Use navigate who. Once our form is submitted, we will redirect to the home page. Here we are done. So let's go to the browser and check. Let me put random title and description. Click on the submit. Form is not submitted. I think we get error. Here you can see axios is not defined. we missed the import, so let me import that XUs. Here I have imported the XUs from XUs. Now let me submit it again. We redirect to the home page, means it successfully added, you can see here. Now next we will see, when we click on this view more link, we will redirect to the view details page, and here you can see all the block details. So let's create the new component, block details.jsx. Here I will create the function block details. Go back to our app.jsx and adding the path for the block details. Let's say /block details, and we will redirect to the component block details component, and also I will add the ID at the end of URL. We dynamically add this ID. Instead of this block details, let's say block view. Yeah, now I will create one method, so we can fetch the block by ID. We will fetch the individual block, get block, define one variable, then use the XUs.get method to make a request. I will make this function async. I will show you that. If I want to fetch this block 1, let me choose the method get. Here you can see we get that particular block. So let me copy that. I'm adding the backtick and copy this URL and paste it here, and we will pass this ID. We will receive in this parameter, and we will fetch the ID from the URL. Then it will return the response when promise resolve, and we store the response in variable block and return that blocks. Now we will add the loader prop, and here call the function get block. It will return that particular block. So let's go to this block details, and here I am fetch that data we have passed using the hook use loader data. I will console log here. Let me open the inspect. Click on view more. Nothing happened because we need to pass the link here. Let me pass the link href, and we want to redirect to this block view. Let me copy this path and paste it here. I will put it in the curly braces and will pass this ID dynamically, block.id. Now go back, click on view more. Here you can see we get that data, date, description, ID, title we have received. Now we come back to this block details. I will remove this and simply will display all the block details here. I will add the container, so it will be in center, margin top, row, column I will add. Offset UMD2. Then inside the ch2 tag, first I will display the block title. Then we have the date inside the h5 tag, heading 5. Then I will add the button for edit, so we can edit the block. I will add the class name button success, so it will be in a green color. Then we will display the description. I will give some margin, border and padding, adding the blog description. Now here you can see edit button, but here you can see this hash and React compiler. I want this in a markdown, so let me import the markdown, and I will wrap this description inside this markdown tag, cut and paste inside it. Now you can see this React compiler in a bold text. Let me add some styling for this edit button. Margin top, I will add some margin, then increase the font size 6, then text will be center. Now it looks good. So next we will see how we can edit blog. So let's go to the VS Code. First I will create a new component, call it edit block.jsx. I go to the add block and copy all the code and paste it here. Rename this function edit block. Next I will go to our app.jsx and add a path for this edit page. Here I will add the path colon, let's say edit block/id, will dynamically pass, and then we will redirect to the element. We have the edit block component. Then I will also pass this loader prop, and which call the getBlock method, which return the information about the block by id. In edit block I will use the hook, use loader data to fetch the data which we have written, and I will pass that as the initial value to this block data. Now on submit we will use the put method. I will remove this code and add the backtick so we can dynamically pass the id. We get the id in block variable block.id. Once we submit the form, we will redirect to the home page. But in this button, when user click on the edit, we redirect to the edit page. So here I am using the navigate. When user click on this edit button, we will navigate to this our edit page. Navigate. This is the URL. So I am copying this path. Let me put the backtick, paste it here, and will dynamically pass the id block.id. So we'll redirect to this edit page. Now let me go click on the view more, click on the edit. Here you can see title, description, but I want this value title and description pre-populated, so we'll add the attribute value. We get that data from the block data dot title. Then for the description we have the block data dot description. If I go back, here you can see the title and description. So let me add the new description. I will update the description. Let's say hello, and I will change the title also. Click on the submit. Here you can see the description and title has been updated. So next we will see how we can delete the block. So let me go to this block item component, not to this block details. We will go to this block item component where we have the delete button. Here I am adding the on click event, and I will change the title also. Click on the submit. Here you can see the description and title has been updated. So next we will see how we can delete the block. So let me go to this block item component, not to this block details. We will go to this block item component where we have the delete button. Here I am adding the on click event, and we will call the method delete block and pass the block id as a parameter. Let's create this method delete block. To delete this, I will make this function async. Await excuse dot delete method we will call. To delete the block we have the URL. I will copy this API and then we'll go back to our block item. I will paste it, add the ID, and then once we delete we will navigate to the, for the navigation I'm using the use navigate hook we need to use, and then I will navigate to the home page. Let's go to the browser and check. I will click on this delete button. This block has been deleted. Now everything is working fine. We have seen all the operations: update, delete, create. I hope you like this video, you enjoyed and learned something new. If you did, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Imaginary Engineering. Thank you for watching.